What's up, Fortnite fam? The Chapter 3 Season 1 finals are all wrapped up, and as the dust settled, the Axe of Champions remained in the hands of some, while others held it high for the first time. There's a lot to talk about, so let's get started.
The first duo to claim the top spot this FNCS was Metal FKS and King's Bleed over in Middle East. They came roaring out of the gates on day number 1, with 4 of their first 5 games netting them second place finishes, including 3 in a row with 6, 7, and 8 eliminations respectively. Closing the day with a strong 7th place 3 elimination match put them 50 plus points clear of the rest of the field heading into day 2. However, the engine looked like it might stall for a bit as match 7 saw them drop in 38th place with no elims, failing to score a single point. But this was just a minor hiccup, and they got back up to speed shortly after, not placing less than 11th for the rest of the day or the entire tournament, and closing out with another 2nd place and 7 elimination performance. This would ultimately put them 42 points clear of a charging Nachiri and Gentle, and despite not winning a game, FKS and Bleed won the ultimate prize of the number 1 spot in the region and the Axe of Champions.
チャプター3アジア地区最初の王者に君臨したのはルナ・ペポの日本人デュオ。準決勝を順当に勝ち抜いた彼らは決勝戦 Day1 マッチ1から実力の片鱗を見せます。デイリービューグルで盤石な体勢を整えた彼らはストーム端から丁寧に敵を殲滅。ゲーム終盤ではローグラウンドで他を圧倒する戦闘力を見せつけ、なんと13エリミネーションでビクトリーロイヤルを獲得。マッチ5でも12エリミネーションビクトリーロイヤルを獲得し、Day1 は1位198ポイントと順当な滑り出しを見せます。 Day2 でも堅実な戦略と終盤の安定感は健在、順当に順位を伸ばします。平均順位7、平均エリミネーション5と他チームを圧倒した彼らは最終スコアを62エリミネーション415ポイントまで伸ばし、見事アジア地区王者に君臨しました。
Here in the Oceania region, Basil and Jace find themselves walking away with a whopping 499 points in the finals. Let's talk about how they got here. Day 1 went off as planned, with Basil and Jace playing consistent from the start, scoring a 2nd place in game number 1. This consistency continued, ending the day with 217 points. They needed to come back day 2, however, and remain consistent as other teams loomed close by. Day 2 came, and it was time for them to shine. Basil and Jace, knowing consistency was key, started off strong with a 3rd place finish and 8 eliminations. This was just the start for them because 3rd place was the lowest placement throughout all of day 2. On top of this, they scored 2 victory royales with multiple eliminations in each one. Once the final game came, the rest of the lobby was left behind, focusing on who can come second as Basil and Jace clearly take the title of FNCS champions in Chapter 3 Season 1.
The European region was won by no other than Queasy and Hen, making Queasy now a 2-time FNCS champion and Hen a 3-time. From the start of this season, this duo was absolutely dominating. Whether it was the third-party tournaments, duo cash cups, or solo cash cups, these guys were on top of the leaderboards. With them placing 2nd in the first FNCS qualifier and punching a ticket straight through to the finals, it seemed like FNCS was going to be no different. At the end of day 1 of the finals, they were in 4th place, being only 11 points behind 1st, in one of the most stacked and close leaderboards FNCS has ever seen. Throughout the games, each player's playstyle complemented each other perfectly, with Queasy being the big brain leader who typically plays overly safe in fights, whereas Hen is overly aggressive and a fighting mastermind. Throughout the entire season, they had proved that they were the number 1 hype team in the lobby, but when it mattered, they were also showing true versatility, being able to conquer any situation that was put in front of them. Going into the final match of day 2, they were in 1st place, but nipping at their heels were 2 of the most premier teams in the region, Tayson and Thomas HD and Kiriachi and Stormyrite, meaning the final game was a battle of champions. Uncharacteristically, Queasy goes down in the early moving zones, leaving Hen alone as a solo to clutch the entire tournament win. Champions are made of moments like this, and this will undoubtedly go down as one of the greatest moments in Fortnite competitive history.
Nossa primeira FNCS do ano já chegou ao fim e foi incrível! Aqui na região Brasil, nas 2 classificatórias, tivemos destaques por motivos opostos. Na primeira, C1 e King jogaram com classe e maestria, vencendo 3 de 6 partidas. Já na segunda, o destaque foi para Curtis e Digueira, que mesmo sem nenhuma vitória royale, garantiram o topo da tabela com 205 pontos. Nas semifinais, Com o formato misturando estilo de jogo consistente, a emoção da vitória royale como passaporte para as finais, tivemos emoção na dose certa. Teve vitória no 1 contra 1, jogador vencendo clutch contra 2 jogadores, galera dirigindo o caminhão no meio do endgame, snipada do Pulga e tempestade comendo ladeira abaixo. E enfim, chegamos às finais. O primeiro dia foi dominante para Kitos e PHzinho. Eles ficaram fora do top 10 em apenas uma partida e tiveram uma taxa de eliminações altíssima, quase 7 por jogo. Com isso, eles abriram uma vantagem de 50 pontos para o segundo colocado, o duo de Fish e Tolls. No segundo dia, as coisas começaram um pouquinho complicadas para eles. Fish e Tolls encostaram na classificação ao fim de 2 partidas, mas depois disso, Kitos e PHzinho embalaram 4 vitórias royales seguidas. Dominaram partidas pelo high e pelo low ground, sempre muito bem posicionados, com muitos recursos e boas movimentações. E na primeira FNCS do ano, eles alcançaram 530 pontos ao fim do campeonato e trouxeram a 4ª FNCS seguida pro PHzinho, olha só que dupla!
Bugha and Miro did not begin the season playing together. They joined forces in the 3rd Duo Cash Cup, a tournament in which they won. Then, the duo looked forward for Chapter 3 Season 1 FNCS. They finished in 8th in Qualifier 1, the last spot to advance to Finals. When FNCS Finals began, it didn't matter what had happened in the qualifiers. Bugha and Miro could not be stopped. Every single match the duo pushed into endgame. Only twice did they fall before 10th place. Both Bugha and Miro displayed their teamwork alongside individual efforts. They bullied teams on the mid ground and flashed incredible solo abilities throughout the entirety of the tournament. As FNCS Finals continued, their lead only grew. The harmonious duo went on to take a victory lap in the last game, claiming their 3rd straight tournament win. It only adds to the growing list of accolades for the two. Bugha and Miro have elevated themselves to a level of their own in NA East.
As always, we've saved the West for last. NA West is a region that always keeps you on the edge of your seat. With a combined total of 20 FNCS Finals appearances, Snacky and Fabs will be holding on to their Axe of Champions as they manage to secure another FNCS Champion title. However, it wasn't an easy journey. They had a rough start to day 1 in the semis, but ultimately walked away with a VR qualification in the final match of the day. This rewarded them with a golden ticket straight to the finals. Day 1 of finals had an unexpected turn of events. There weren't as many veteran FNCS duos in the top of the leaderboard. Snacky and Fabs were in 7th place overall after day 1. To make a comeback in day 2, they would have to break an NA West record, moving up 6 spots on the leaderboard. And that is exactly what they set off to do. Snacky led all NA West players in individual elims, showcasing that his mechanics are not something to laugh at. Combining that with the synergy him and Fabs have, they've secured 4 30-plus point games on day 2. Despite this, the last match came down to the wire. All the duos in the top 5 were up during moving zones. Slowly, they started going down one by one. Snacky and Fabs finished the last game in 2nd place. The question is, was it enough? Spoiler alert, it was. Having the best average placement in their region, Snacky and Fabs became the first NA West Duo FNCS champions of Chapter 3. With this back-to-back FNCS win, it raises the question, are they the new kings of NA West?
A new season, a new map, and a new format in duos. The champions will be forever immortalized in the Hall of Champions, a reminder of their accomplishment. As everyone looks up to those with the Axe of Champions, they now know this year of the FNCS will be even more difficult than the last. But with lessons learned, we all set our eyes on the horizon and look to the next FNCS. Until then, we'll see you all on the battle bus.